This is the Seagate solid-state expansion drive for Xbox Series X and S consoles, and for the first 2 years of the Xbox Series X and S's life cycle, it was the only way to expand your console storage. That was until this guy came along, the new kid on the block, the WD Black C50. Today we're going to take these two expansion cards and put them to the test, see which one is better, or maybe they're the same. I don't really know, but we're going to find out together. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, for the first couple of years of the Xbox Series X and S being out, the only way to expand your console's SSD was with one of these Seagate expansion cards. It was very different from what we see on PlayStation's side, where, with a little bit more effort, you have a ton of options when it comes to expanding your console's internal storage. But because this Seagate card was the only card on the market for Xbox console owners, it meant that they can charge whatever they want. They were the only game in town. That was until June of 2023, when Western Digital released this WD Black C50 card. And this effectively introduced a competitor into what was basically a monopolization of SSD expansion cards for Xbox consoles. And at this point, you may be asking yourself a couple of questions. One of them being, Ray, you can use a hard drive with your Xbox Series X or S? To which I say, yes, you can. You can definitely store Xbox Series X and S games on an external hard drive and then move them to your internal storage if you want to play them. You can also play older games off of an external drive like Xbox One and older titles. But in terms of convenience, and especially as we go farther into this generation, more and more people are going to want a solid-state drive option for their Xboxes. That way they can just plug it into the back of their Xbox, they can play games off of it, and they don't have to worry about it. And as games get beefier, bigger, take up more space, you're probably sitting there maybe thinking about buying one of these two cards. Which leads to another question that you may be asking, Ray, why do we only have two options that you're waving around like all crazy? And to answer that question, we have to go back in time. For those of you who do not remember, the original Xbox that launched back in 2001
Today isn't about you, it's about the new Xbox.
was the first video game console to feature an internal hard drive. Before that, you had to have a memory card, a separate memory card to store all of your games, like save files and your progress that you had made. Sometimes, like with the Nintendo 64, you had to take that memory card and put it directly into the controller. That was crazy. That original Xbox had a storage capacity of 8 gigabytes. I know, absolutely crazy, 8 gigs, am I right? Later, they went on to sell models that went up to 10 gigabytes, a whopping 10 gigabytes. Fast forward to the Xbox 360 generation.
Welcome to Countdown to Xbox 360.
They had detachable hard drives with custom enclosures. And in fact, both Seagate and Western Digital made versions of this detachable hard drive for the Xbox 360, so a little bit of history there. The original hard drive for the Xbox 360 was 20 gigabytes, so massive jump from the 8 gig version that we saw in the Xbox generation. And they also featured custom firmware and connections that made other standalone hard drives incompatible with Xbox consoles, kind of like what we see today. Fast forward to the Xbox One generation, and it seemed that platform holders, they were over the whole like detachable hard drive situation, so they switched back to an internal hard drive. And it wasn't until a year after the Xbox One launch that Xbox put out an update that allowed players to connect 2 hard drives via USB to expand the storage. Looking at modern day consoles, the Xbox Series X and S, the PlayStation 5, yeah, they have a lot more storage than their ancestors did, especially looking back at that original Xbox that only had 8 gigabytes of storage. That would be nothing by today's standards, but games are a lot bigger today too. Here's what I'm going to do in order to find out if there is any tangible difference between these two cards. First of all, I'm going to time the time that it takes. That's some alliteration for you there. I'm going to time how long it takes to transfer a game from internal storage to these cards. And then I'm going to do the reverse thing. And then I'm going to time how long it takes for each of these cards to download a small game. And then finally, I'm going to see how long it takes to boot up a game that is stored on either of these cards. And hopefully we will see which one is better. Maybe they will be the same, and this is all for nothing. I don't know, but again, we will find out together. We are on this journey together. All right, so here's what we got. I have the Seagate card loaded up into the Xbox Series S I have right here, which in a way, it's like the perfect candidate for an expansion card because, as we all know, you only have about 512 gigabytes of storage on the Series S. So if you're a Series S owner, you're a good candidate for an expansion card, whether it's Seagate or the WD Black, or maybe you bought a Series S right before they released the Black Series S with a full terabyte of storage, and you're like, dang, should have got that. But you have these options if you want to upgrade your storage anyway. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I'm going to transfer it over from the internal storage in my Series S to the Seagate card, and I'm going to time it using this fancy little stopwatch. I'm not even using my phone, guys. I'm going full analog. And here we go. All right, pretty good start. Lightning quick. I don't know why am I flat? This is what gets me hyped nowadays, guys. It's the little things. What the? This is like, okay. Finishing things up. Let's see how much time this tacks on. Okay. Ooh, how long is it gonna take? Stuck at 2%. Ooh. 47 seconds, guys, from internal storage to the Seagate card. What a showing. What a performance. Okay, guys, I got a confession to make. So we just timed, right, the transfer of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice down from the Xbox Series S to the Seagate expansion card. And it got clocked in at 47 seconds and 42 whatever seconds, and which is pretty quick. But the confession here is that we shot it earlier and it was around like 57-ish seconds, which is not the end of the world, but my kind of stop-start finger, it was a little slow, so I wanted to get it more accurate and get it, so, you know, for the experiment's purpose, right? But what ended up happening is that the second time we shot it, it was a 10-second difference, so I don't know what's real anymore, basically. We're not scientists over here, we're just trying to discover some cool stuff, I don't know. But now we got the WD Black card, C50, loaded up in the back of the Series S, and we're going to do the same thing. Transfer over Hellblade from the Series S to the WD Black. In 3, 2, 1, bam. Alright, now ladies. Yay! Now what's cool? Oh, it's cool. Ooh, it's off to a good start. Not even 15 seconds and it's already halfway done. Ooh. Okay. Reaching 100% at that 30-second mark. Ooh, and it's done. And it's done. 32 seconds from console to the card, transferring over Hellblade. Let's try the big dog itself. Let's try Starfield, 101 gigabytes of game, big beefy game, and let's transfer this over from the Series S to the WD Black that I have already installed in the back. Let's do it. And you that what? Okay, got a little more detail than what we got with Hellblade on that finishing things up percentage. Now we're moving on to the Old Mar skin pack, and it's finishing up. And it's finishing up. Okay, that's done. 2 minutes, 58 seconds, right under the 3-minute mark. Now we're going to do the same thing, Starfield from the Series S, but this time to the Seagate card. Let's see how it does. Okay, that's done with the base game, finishing up base game. Okay. Okay, now they get finishing up the session. What is going on? It cannot finish things up. Oh my god, it told you to do it. It do it. See it do it. Right now, do it. Are you serious? How long does it take to finish things up? Alright, finishing up the base game. Starfield Oldmar skin pack. Finishing up. And that's time. So that was 3 minutes, 40 seconds. And what we saw with the WD Black, it managed to do it in under 3 minutes. It's on track to be like a full 15 seconds quicker than what we saw with that transfer with the WD Black card. But then for some reason, I don't know, it tripped at the finish line. During the finishing it up section, it got stuck at 43%. And now we're looking at a 3 minute 40 time for that transfer. So now that we've tried transferring a game back and forth from the Xbox to both the Seagate and the WD Black card, we're going to try and time how long it takes to download a small game. Nothing too crazy, but like a small to mid-range file size game. So the time it took for Solar Ash to download onto the Seagate card from the moment I pressed install on the little Game Pass icon, that was about 4 minutes, 50 seconds. But now I'm sitting here, I'm kind of like, is this test useless? I mean, this whole, like, at least like the portion of me downloading a game onto the card itself, because it's so dependent on the internet connection, right? Like, is this all for naught? So I'm gonna go with one more test to see if we can see any kind of visible difference between the WD Black and the Seagate card. Now that Solar Ash is downloaded on both cards, I'm gonna start them both up and time the startup time to see if there's any difference between the two. So I have Solar Ash, I have the Seagate card in. Let's see how long it takes for the game to start up after I freaking stop this. No, reset that. Yep, okay. Let's see how long it takes Solar Ash to start up directly from the Seagate expansion card. We'll try it in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so it was about 21 seconds to get from the Xbox dashboard to Solar Ash's main menu. Let's see if it's any different with the WD Black. And we're going now. Alright, pretty much the exact same time for the same situation, same test, but with the WD Black. You see it's about 21.78 seconds on my little stopwatch here. So once again, guys, I'm not a scientist. I am a guy with a YouTube channel, with a camera, and people like to hear me talk about Xbox, I guess. So in no way is this a foolproof way of saying this card is better than the other card. It seems the only difference that we could find is that WD Black had a slight edge in terms of its speed when it transfers games from an Xbox to the card. But overall, looking at these products, both very quick. I mean, what is like a 30-second difference when you're transferring over a game? If that's really a deal breaker to you, I can't say. But both of these are quality products, the Seagate and the WD Black. They're very convenient. There's no extra work like you have to do with the PlayStation SSDs. You just take the card, plug it in the back, and you are good to go. You're able to play games directly off the card. You're able to transfer them back and forth very, very quickly. If you want to buy either of these, the WD Black C50 or the Seagate expansion card, we have links for them below this video. In terms of my personal recommendation for them, I mean, it's pretty much a wash in terms of performance, right? But I honestly would go for whatever is cheaper, whatever is on sale. And to be, I'm going to throw in one more parameter, okay? I would choose whatever one looks cooler to you. For me, it's the WD Black. It has that, it reminds me of my old PlayStation 2 memory card. I don't know, it's just giving me those vibes. So, personally, I would probably go for that. But looking at it right now, the 1 terabyte for the WD Black C50 is about 150 bucks. That's at Best Buy, that's on Amazon as well. And then looking at the Seagate 1 terabyte expansion, it hovers around like 180 to 150. At Best Buy, it's a similar price to the WD Black. It's sitting at 150, but at other retailers, it's like 160, 170. The moral of the story, I guess, is you should buy the card that is best for you in terms of your wallet and in terms of your aesthetic. But anyways, guys, that is my not so foolproof head-to-head test of the Seagate and the WD Black expansion cards. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. It was definitely a fun video to shoot. Thanks so much again, and we'll see you in the next one.